Hello, scholars. Today is Thursday, January 21st. I know that I'm not present at school or on Zoom today, but you still know my expectations and have pride. Dolphins always have pride. So let's begin. Our math I can statement for today says, I can use my understanding of place value to explain patterns in the number of zeros in the product. Let's check out the next page. Okay, so we are here now and we see a place value chart in front of us. We have to the left of the decimal or in front of our decimal, we call them our whole numbers. And behind our decimal to the right and behind, we call them our pieces, our decimal pieces and parts. Okay, so if I place the number 2 in the ones place and the number 2 in the tens place, how many times greater is two tens than two ones? As you can see, I placed a 0 in the ones place to go along with my two tens. Two tens also equals, that's right, it equals 20. On the right, I'm placing the number 2, 20, 200, and 2000. Let me straighten my numbers up, line them up. Every time you increase or compare your places and you're comparing them to a larger place value, you are increasing 10 times. So going from 2 to 20, you increase 10 times. Going to 200 from 20, you're increasing 10 times. Going from 2000 to from 200, you're still increasing 10 times. So now, here, I have the number 55,555. Well, all of the places have the same digit in them, 5. But are their values the same, class? No, they're not. Their values are totally different. So, if you are comparing a smaller place to a larger place, remember, you're increasing by 10. From your ones to your tens place is 10 times larger. From your tens to your hundreds place, it's 10 times larger. From your hundreds to your thousands place, 10 times larger. And your thousands to your 10,000s place is, of course, 10 times larger. Okay? As you can see the numbers below, we have our 50,000 compared to our 5,000, compared to our 500, compared to 50, and then 5. It increases towards the left. Every time you're increasing towards the left, your place value gets bigger. Your place and their values increase when you're going to the left. And it's increasing 10 times. The place increases 10 times. But when you are decreasing, you're not going to the left anymore. You're going to the right. You are going to the right where your places and their values decrease. They become smaller. You either divide them by 10 instead of multiplying by 10, or you can multiply by 1/10, a small fraction. So I'm placing 700 into our place value chart. 700. Underneath in the ones place is the number 7. So I wonder, how many times larger is 700 compared to just 7? Hmm, I see. I can jump to the tens place and I'm increasing 10 times and jump to my hundreds place. Of course, I'm increasing how many times? 10 times. And when I combine those numbers, 10 times 10 will give us 100. 700 is 100 times greater than just 7. But remember, we can still go backwards with this and compare it the opposite way. 700 is 100 times greater, but if you go the opposite way, it is 1/100th the value. The number 7 is 1/100th the value of 700. So let's look at that number again of 55,555. As you can see, I'm decreasing. I'm going from a larger place to a smaller place, from 10,000s to just thousands. I'm dividing by 10. I'm multiplying by 1/10. I'm getting smaller. Dividing by 10. Smaller. I'm going to my hundredths place value. Dividing by 10. Going to my tenth place value. I'm still getting smaller. My place is getting smaller as well as their values. Dividing by 10. And again to my ones place. Dividing by 10. Of course, you will have questions for your independent assignment to go along with if your places are 10 times larger or 1/10 the value. So let's head on over to our next page to practice. Okay, so now we're here at page 3. Go ahead and copy this down, okay? So now that we are viewing this, one moment. Okay, so now the question says if the 8 in 491,280 is moved 2 places to the right, how does the value of the 8 change? All right, so they gave us some words to focus on there. Move 2 places to the right. So let's take our numbers and place them into our place value charts. Let's go. Copy it down in your notebook and place your digits into their place value charts, into the right places. Now, what number are we focusing on in the question? That's right. We're focused on the number 8. And they want us to do what in the question? Move them 2 places to the right. Move the 8 2 places to the right. So all I'm going to do is look at the 8. I'm going to move it once to the ones place because right now it is in the tens place. We currently have 8 tens, and I have moved it 1 place to the right so far. Now I have moved it 2 places to the right, which would make it 8 tenths. It's almost like I divided by 10 to get to a smaller place with a smaller value. Or I can say that I multiplied by 1/10. Multiplied by 1/10. Same thing. So now 8 tens compared to 8 tenths. How can we explain this? 8 tens compared to 8 tenths. Hmm. Well, as you can see, I typed out the numbers for us in their places and their values. Let's see if we can compare them using our less than sign, our greater than sign, as well as our equal to sign. What would you say in order to compare 8 tens to 8 tenths? what would you say? I am going to give you a moment to write down a sentence comparing the two numbers. Go ahead. Okay, so I hope you had a chance to copy everything down and to type out your statements. Okay, so I am going to type out a statement for you. Let's go. Okay, so here we go. I have my sentences ready. Let's see if you have something similar. 80 is 100 times greater than 8/10. Same sentence, just in word form. This is the same thing, only in word form. 8/10 is 100 times greater than 8/10. Did you get either one of those? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay, let's try going backwards. Saying it backwards. I do apologize. Let's say it backwards now. 8/10 is 1/100th the value of 80. Same sentence. 8/10 is 100th the value of 8/10. Were you able to get either one of those statements for your answers? If not, it's okay. I promise you it is okay. Practice makes perfect, and we will continue to go over this, okay? Let's head on over to our next page. Let's go. Okay, so here we go. I can recognize that the ones place is 10 times larger than the 10th place. So the first part says to shade in one whole rectangle. Let's shade in the whole rectangle. Please make sure you have this copy down in your notebook, okay? So let's shade in a whole rectangle. Boom, beautiful. The next one says shade 1/10 of the rectangle. Shade only 1 out of 10. First, I like to label my stuff just to make sure there's 10 there. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10. I have a complete whole awesome. But I don't need to focus on all 10 pieces. I only need to shade in one. Beautiful. For question 1, it states, how much larger is one rectangle than 1/10 of a rectangle? What do you think? How much larger is that one whole rectangle compared to the 1/10 of a rectangle? Well, that one whole rectangle is 10 times larger than the 1/10. Another way that you can write 1/10, instead of in a fraction, you can write 0.1 as a decimal, just like you see in our chart below. Question 2, how much larger is 1/10 than 1/100th? Look at your place value charts and think about it. How much larger is 1/10 than 1/100th? I bet you already know this. 1/10 is 10 times larger than 1/100th. Think about our flats and rods and our units. Our rods are our tenths, and our units are our 100ths. Our tenths, our rods, are bigger. They are 10 times larger than those small units. As you can see on the place value chart, if I am comparing to a larger place value, like the question says, how much larger, it's telling me to compare to a larger place. How much larger is my tenths versus my hundredths? And if I jump to the tenths, I am going 10 times larger. That place and value is 10 times larger than the hundredths place and value. Question 3, compare the number 10 and the number 1 using a model. So you see the ones and the tens in our model, I know is small. And if I compare going to the larger place with the larger value, I'm going 10 times larger. But if I go the other way and I want to decrease my place values, I can show you that as well. 10 is 10 times larger than 1. That place and value is 10 times larger than just 1. Going the opposite way, 1 is 1/10 the value of 10. As you can see, I have decreased my arrow. I'm jumping from a larger place to a smaller place with a smaller value. So it's 1/10 the value of 10. 1/10 the value. The same thing as just dividing by 10. So, scholars, I need you to be very careful when you are working on your independent assignments today. Please take your time, okay? You have an independent assignment labeled place value. So please make sure you go to January 21st assignment and click on place value. I believe it's called place value concentration, but concentrate on your place values, okay? I will be checking to see if you guys are following instructions. I'm sure your other teachers will let me know how your day has gone. Take your time. Don't forget to log on to iReady for at least 20 minutes and to work on improving your skills. If you need me, I'm always here for you. Just message me. I love you, and I will see you soon, scholars. Have a great day.